Hello, and welcome back to the RiftGuides WildRift video. We have a gem for you, and it's Tank Fizz top lane. Heartsteel abuser, connoisseur, fishler of the fish lovers, Fizz top lane. We start with a ruby crystal, absolutely busted and powerful to have. And yeah, we'll be in for some lovely treat in this game. You'll be very much surprised. So, what is so special about Fizz top lane? It sounds so very much grief, right? Back in the distant days in top lane in League of Legends, Fizz top was actually meta for some time and actually played in competitive if I'm not mistaken. It was one of the only times he was played there because he was so horrendously broken, absolutely insanely busted in the Baron lane. And here we have a very peculiar matchup. Tristana top lane messes up the little troll pole here, but it doesn't really matter. He has the second wind page, and let's take a look at the runes here. He has Brutal, Coup de Grace, Alacrity, and Second Wind. For top lane, it's almost always mandatory to run Second Wind because it's so unbelievably unbalanced. The sustain you gain through this rune is absurd, and if you do not have it and rather have bone plating, you'll many times notice this one. And for extended periods of trading, especially early game, you will see what difference Second Wind does, and if you don't have it. Tristana is slow pushing the wave into the tower, nothing much will happen here. He gets some free trading onto her, uses the minion for a quick little transition back to the wave. Tristana will hop away from the Talon, and this one is really too risky. Like, this one is way too risky, and Talon just threw away his entire early game with this. Because now look, the enemy jungle instantly reacted to this play and went for an invade. Now the Tristana walked up too close, we get a free kill here, we even popped the Ignite even though we didn't even need it. So the Talon's play actually paid off in the end. However, it was really overforced. Because the Tristana can always go away, and he needs to identify that the wave needs to be crashed immediately, as fast as possible. And he starts maxing his first ability. I'm not quite aware right now if the first ability's cooldown goes down significantly per point investment, or if it just doesn't change anything. So what does he do here for his first item? He goes for a Kindle Gem and a Ruby Crystal with tier 1 boots. He gains ability haste with this, and apparently you can make the argument, since he's going for Heartsteel first, he can go for triple Ruby Crystal, which would net him the most combat stats. Haste-wise, it's okay as an investment, but you certainly do not like buying Kindle Gems normally, because cooldown-wise, you one-shot enemies with one set of rotations, and therefore not really required to have ability haste so early in the game. Tristana uses the bomb here, goes closer for a cheeky trade, gets completely out-traded, but it doesn't matter because of the power of Second Wind. You just need to be mindful to not give the Tristana the consecutive resets or refreshes on lethal tempo, and then everything will be fine. He will reach a point where he's too tanky and there's too much base damage that the Tristana doesn't have any chance of survival, and you see he's already starting with the traits of base damages, and the only thing that is limiting Fizz is mana. And he's not going to go for boots of mana. Maybe he thinks about this, but I think this game, Mercury Treads or plated steel caps, both are fine. But I think Mercuries are better this game. Will just help him so much more. And the Tristana actually saved him. What a gamer. What a nice emote though. Like the cute little star. Tristana used ultimate. Lilia is walking too close here. Lilia has to pop her ultimate very soon, otherwise she dies. She dies instantly because of Talon Burst. The fish connects onto the Tristana. Give the kill. Yes, and we give the kill. A true jungle helper. Making sure to help this Fizz through the laning phase, and we have a completed Heartsteel in base after we get the reset. And by the way, there's a secret about Fizz in laning. Your second ability resets upon killing something. Okay, the question now here is, does he necessarily need to stay here? Because he already has all the gold he needs for an item, so what does the time he spent here give him? He already had the completed Heartsteel, so let's see if the gold he gains makes a substantial difference for a completed item. No, it doesn't. He at best gained another Ruby Crystal, which is not a completed item but simply a component. However, he lost tempo on the map and allowed now Tristana to access the tower, and fortunately, since he's pre-med as it seems with the jungle is constantly here to camp the top lane Tristana. Gets knocked away with the ultimate, goes in with the troll pole, gets the free kill, dashes forward, gets another kill, Talon dies, we lose a massive wave towards our tower, Orianna is ghosting in, ooh, nice sidestep here. He will go for heavy trading since Orianna just already used her spells, and he can turn around once the next set of rotation comes in, and this Orianna is fish food. Base damage gaming, ladies and gentlemen. But again, this play was like brutally overforced. He lost so much gold from the minions, and even lost the Talon in the at the same time, while the Lilia was allowed to just do whatever she wants in the meantime. So you never want to do these kind of super overforced plays because they're way too risky and the payoff is way too little. Like, you really need to keep that one in mind when you go for plays. And with the tempo guide, I think the tempo guide will release before this video. So you get to understand the differences between luxury gold and actually required gold, tempo, etc, etc. Now Lilia is fighting up there for the dragon. It's an ocean dragon, which means we will have an ocean soul this game, which for all the champions involved in this game is absolutely worthless. Tristana got a blue buff. Did she yoink that from the jungle? That's tough. Goes in for it. He wants to get some poke damage onto the Tristana. He really wants to, and maybe sneak in a Heartsteel proc. Because again, his HP bar is so much bigger than the Tristana's, and the Tristana's lethal range, in which she goes into like a lethal point where she can die, it's so much higher. Because the Talon cannot physically die to the Tristana unless... the Fizz cannot physically die to the Tristana unless he wants to. And now he's itemizing into the Gauntlet. Not Abyssal Gauntlet. Glacial Gauntlet. And with that lovely Gauntlet, he provides even more slow, has a ton of haste, which Fizz loves to have as the game goes on, and some extra mana. Because here he gets the free little proc on Heartsteel. The fish doesn't connect on my screen. It would have connected to me, let's just be honest here. And look at the heavy trading onto Tristana. Tristana need to be really careful. Nice flash here, but you see... And this is with Mercs, by the way, not even with plated steel caps. With plated steel caps, this is not even remotely close. Not even remotely. But he has to itemize against multiple damage sources, and the most, like the biggest damage source in this game is going to be Lilia and Orianna. But you can make an argument that caps are completely okay, but he's already doing like two things at the same time. He goes for Mercs, and then goes for the little Gauntlet that provides him with armor, more HP, ability haste, and an extra slow. Fizz just hammers away at this tower. Imagine Fizz passive worked on the tower as well, and since it doesn't have platings anymore, he could just take it down instantly and now has a full item in base. With the full item in base, he will be unbelievably powerful right now. And the next item is going to be, you pretty much guessed it already, Titanic Hydra. If you see a Heartsteel, Titanic Hydra isn't far away. Because whenever you buy Heartsteel, you can buy Titanic. Simply because in WildRift and the pace of how WildRift functions and plays out, you'll get so many Heartsteel stacks that Titanic Hydra, even though it's more like a combination item of offensive and defensive, will provide you with so many offensive stats that it's going to be nuts. Because the cooldown of this item roughly adds to a proc of the item every other auto. And that is quite a lot of extra damage given your insanely high health pool. Spots the Lilia in the jungle, waits for a Tristana or the Lilia to face check. Cheeky cheeky, Heartsteel being procced. This Tristana could have known that he is there by simply having the Heartsteel activate above her head. Something you can do, it even works over walls, and if you have no vision, you get the Heartsteel visual in front of you and therefore can just immediately run away. Shark connects, Orianna folds. 125 gold into the pocket, barely anything. And we'll pick up the free ward for our troubles here. Caitlyn running around as if she's... I think she's running empowered attack. If I watched correctly. Now Lilia is getting killed, and that's something you do not want to have. This overforce is crazy because Lilia as a champion can carry most of the games. Even in the most dire situations, Lilia can carry games. And now they're feeding enemy hyperscaling champions kills. For no reason. For absolutely no reason other than just having fun, you know. Next dragon coming up, so this would be then the second dragon, which would lead up to Soul Point. The Soul Point would benefit only one person this entire game, which would be Fizz, because he has so much HP, and then Ocean Soul would actually do some work. We saw Lilia on the minimap walking towards the Fizz here. Now the Fizz will farm Heartsteel procs, will probably get one kill here, and then has to either escape or die. I don't know what Lilia is doing, she should be here already. Okay, Lilia is griefing. Lilia is completely griefing this. He should have been dead so much more. Like, so much long ago. Like, there's just no way Lilia isn't griefing. Because this play played out for so long and Lilia still didn't come. That is a little bit crazy, because the Fizz was dead. Indeed just dead. There's no counterplay to that anymore. They lost the second dragon here. Ability haste would have been nice to have. Needs to be mindful, doesn't have the mana pool to sustain a fight here right now, so he should rather focus on the mid wave, because it's free to take. And then he can transition into the bot wave as well, because it's simply free. He can pick up some fruit on the way, so he has mana to just dash around. I'm not a fan of this, because now the bot lane wave will walk into the tower potentially. And with the bot lane walking into the tower, the Talon has to pick it up. And it's a massive wave on the bot side. A massive wave. So now he's completely delayed. Nothing was happening on the map anyway. You could have gotten the gold for free or even share it with Talon. Maximizing gold income on 2 people. Because nothing was happening, there would be no downside of the Talon showing. So yeah, now we go for invade. Fizz is here to back it up. Jumps over the wall, will be picking up this blue buff. Very, very important for the Fizz to have sufficient mana. Because no mana equals death for the Fischler. And these grass procs will hurt. They will really do some work as the game goes on. And if you want one item that is very powerful against magic damage dealers that deal consistent DPS, it is going to be Force of Nature. Especially if they have Liandry's Torment, Force of Nature is going to do so much work. Because just being touched once will proc the item. Okay, Fish connects onto the Caitlyn in the backline. I do not think we get towards the Caitlyn. Fresh goes back in, nice shockwave by the Orianna. Lilia goes in. We do not block the Caitlyn, and for whatever obscure reason, we get the reset here. We get a free kill picked up, and the Lulu doesn't revive from the Akshan. Fizz is now super low HP and has to just run away, but Akshan is looking for another kill. The Akshan is just relentless. Okay, Tristana needs to be mindful, because she's not really dealing too much damage to this Fizz. Because Tristana's current max HP is close to Fizz's current HP. So yeah, even though it looks like very close in the sense of being low HP, the HP bar of Fizz is still very, very high. Nice try by the Fizz of trying to hit the Orianna, doesn't succeed in doing so, and now has to watch the teammates die. Again, all of these actions here serve no purpose. It's completely pointless to do all of this, because there's only a potential loss. Because if all of them die, there's a possibility of something happening around Nashor, and we do not want this. And all of this is just complete ARAM, which you see so many times. They're neglecting farming, they're neglecting macro, they're neglecting side waves. They just run around and attack. And usually the ones with the better champions, or the people who actually press buttons, do win in these situations. So now I hope that the Fizz actually resets for his Titanic Hydra, and then he splits on the top side of the map, away from Baron, forcing the enemy to come. Because if they do not come there, it's completely over. Because he will just split away and take down the enemy base. Whereas the enemy team has to either stop him or contest Baron. They can't do both at the same time, because nobody can hold Fizz as of this moment. Hits the Shark onto the Orianna. Orianna pops stasis. Caitlyn close to wall, gets one tap, gets the revival onto the Talon. Hook onto the Fizz connects, but the Fizz with the troll pole jumps to the Orianna, hits the Titanic Hydra hit, destroys her, get another Heartsteel proc, and will look for another Heartsteel proc onto the Fresh if possible very soon. Gargoyle being proc, the most powerful enchantment if you have Heartsteel. Because the item grants you, I think, 25% of your max HP as a shield, increasing up to close to 100% of your entire HP bar if you're surrounded by 3 people. So yeah, you get quite tanky. Jumps onto Le Tristana. is super tanky, dashes away, will probably... No, he doesn't die thanks to the Lulu. So much healing from the honey fruit as well, but you see the top lane sidewave, it's so humongous and nobody cares about this. Nobody cares about minion waves in this game, even though they are the best tool for you to utilize to win most of your games for free, because you can make minions work for you. And did I just see correctly that Lilia doesn't have Rabadon's Death Cap on 3 items? Yeah, no wonder this champion is not carrying this game, because, well, she delayed her most powerful item spike by 1 item, which is very tough. 1 kill into the hands, the Thresh will be chased down, Heartsteel proc after Heartsteel proc. Hopeful Shark doesn't connect. And again, no side waves being prepped anywhere, just happy little go-lucky running around killing people. Because why would we use waves to our advantage when we can just run around after people when they're already quote-unquote dead for the objective, because if they walk into us they die regardless of what is happening. But we chased them for so long that they're actually given the opportunity to recover. Lilia face checks way too early. She has the tool with a 3rd ability to check a Baron from safe distance without putting herself at risk, because she will always know due to the angle she can throw a ball from. And there's no reason for her to face check in the first place like that. They can also utilize Orianna as well for this. There are many tools that are possible. He uses the Shark for potential catch onto Caitlyn, thinking she was there. However, she showed brief after on the bottom side of the map. This Caitlyn will just die. Jinx wasted her ultimate for fun as well. Now with jungle dead and all the people dead, we should obviously go for Nashor, but for some reason the AD carry is running around the map, the Lulu is recalling, and for some reason we don't do Nashor. Now the Fizz isn't going for Nashor, not tanking the Nashor, so they're actually dying for the Nashor. And now the enemy got so much time that it got so close that they could have potentially, something could have happened. The autocast onto the Thresh because Orianna left vision, we love to see it. And we get another Heartsteel stack. Amaranth Twin Guard also being close to completed. And with Amaranth Twin Guard, the tankiness should go absolutely insane. Because think about this, okay? Just Heartsteel alone provides this little fella with more than 1482 HP. That is more than all his other items give him combined. On an item that scales infinitely. And also does damage for you while having super high haste. It's just absolutely obscene how strong this item is. Even on champions, you should not build it on, thematically speaking. Like Irelia, Fiora, all of these champions can build this item. After their first core item, they can just go for Heartsteel and become invincible Demon Kings, because their one weakness is teamfights where they explode instantly, and this item actually fixes this because they're continuously fighting beforehand. Then they utilize daily to invest into defensive items such as Heartsteel, which then allows them to get even tankier and not get one-tap during fights. Again, not walking in the side wave, trying to go brute forcing around the map. It's good that it works with the kill here, but it could be so easy with absolutely zero counterplay. But yeah, this will also suffice. The Elder Dragon will make sure everything you do will be okay. And with that, we are indeed at the end of this video. Look how tanky this Fischler is, he just doesn't care. And yeah, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the channel in the description below. All of these replays are amazing, and we'll see each other for more RiftGuides content very, very soon. Take care. Goodbye.